March 16th, 1968. Another recon sweep over Quang Ngai province. Another day of marking Viet Cong positions. Another day closer to going home. Wait. What's that? That's not combat. Those are civilians. And those soldiers, they're ours. Lieutenant Hugh Thompson, 24 years old, from Stone Mountain, Georgia, helicopter pilot, 1,100 combat hours. In 4 months, he'd be home with his wife and daughter. March 15th, 1968, the evening before the mission. Thompson walked across the firebase to his UH-1 helicopter, accompanied by his 2-man crew. Glenn Andriota, crew chief, barely 20 years old, from New Jersey. Lawrence Colburn, door gunner, just 18, drafted from Washington State.
Standard recon, fellas. Mark Viet Cong positions. Call in artillery coordinates. In and out.
Think Charlie Company will find anything tomorrow?
Intel says My Lai is crawling with VC. They're expecting heavy resistance.
5 miles away, Charlie Company of the 11th Infantry Brigade prepared for what they believed would be their biggest battle yet. In 1 month, Charlie Company had lost 28 men. Not in firefights, in traps, mines, ambushes in the dark. They never saw the enemy, only the aftermath. The war had changed them. Fear became paranoia. Paranoia became rage. And rage was looking for a target. Second Lieutenant William Calley gathered his platoon for the final briefing.
My Lai village is a VC stronghold. Intel estimates 250 enemy fighters. We go in at 0730, hard and fast, no prisoners, destroy everything. The village is the enemy.
Among the soldiers sat Private First Class Michael Bernhardt. Unlike the others, he didn't nod in agreement. He stared at the ground, already knowing what was being asked of him, and already knowing he couldn't do it. March 16th, 1968, 7:30 hours. Multiple helicopters descended on My Lai village. Charlie Company landed expecting a war zone. They found families eating breakfast. No weapons, no fortifications, no soldiers. Just farmers, children, and elderly villagers going about their mourning.
No contact. I repeat, no enemy contact. Round them up. Central Plaza. Everyone.
400 villagers were herded into the center of My Lai. Old men helping pregnant women, mothers clutching infants, children crying, not understanding. Michael Bernhardt stood at the edge of the group, his rifle in his hands. He watched Lieutenant Calley give the order. He watched other soldiers raise their weapons. And he lowered his rifle.
I knew what was about to happen. I knew it was wrong. I couldn't do it.
Bernhardt walked to the edge of the village, sat against a tree, put his head in his hands. What happened next would become one of the darkest chapters in American military history. 900 hours. Hugh Thompson's helicopter circled the village on a routine reconnaissance pass. Below, something was wrong.
Glenn, Larry, you seeing this? Jesus Christ. That's not combat. Those are civilians.
Thompson saw bodies in the rice paddies, smoke rising from burning huts, and American soldiers moving through the village, methodically, house by house. He grabbed his grease pencil and began marking his map. 9 locations, wounded civilians needing medical evacuation. When he returned 15 minutes later, they were all dead, shot at point-blank range. Thompson landed his helicopter in a field and ran toward an irrigation ditch. What he found there would haunt him for the rest of his life.
Lieutenant, there's someone alive!
A child, maybe 4 years old, moving beneath the bodies of her family. Andriota jumped into the ditch and pulled her out, wrapping her in his jacket.
If those those GIs come near this kid, you stop them.
You want me to aim at Americans?
I want you to aim at anyone who tries to kill this child.
Thompson spotted movement near a bunker, families hiding, 10, maybe 12 people, women, children, elderly, and American soldiers approaching from the other side.
Hold fire! Civilians in there!
Lieutenant Calley walked toward Thompson, 2 American officers, face to face. Behind Thompson, his crew manned the helicopter's machine guns, aimed at their own countrymen.
Lieutenant, these are civilians. Women, children, old people. I'm getting them out.
That's not your call. These are VC sympathizers.
They're unarmed.
The moment hung in the air. Thompson's hand moved to his pistol. Colburn's finger hovered near the trigger of his M60 machine gun.
If you open fire on these people, my crew will open fire on you.
3 seconds of silence. 3 seconds that felt like hours. William Calley looked at Thompson's face, at the machine gun pointed at his men, at the determination in the young pilot's eyes.
Do what you want.
Thompson waved the families out of the bunker. An old man helped the children. A mother clutched her baby. Andriota guided them to the helicopter. They could only fit 4 at a time. Thompson made 3 trips, 11 people, while 504 died around them. That evening, Hugh Thompson filed his report. He detailed everything he'd seen. The unarmed civilians, the murders, the cover-up he was already witnessing. The Army stamped it classified. The official press release called it a military victory. 128 Viet Cong killed, they claimed. The actual count, 504 civilians murdered, 0 combatants found, 0 weapons recovered. For reporting the truth, Thompson was investigated, not for heroism, for treason. He received death threats from fellow veterans. They called him a traitor. They said he'd aimed a gun at American soldiers. And he had. The investigation lasted over a year. 26 soldiers were initially charged. In the end, only William Calley faced trial. He was convicted of murdering 22 people, sentenced to life imprisonment. He served 3.5 years under house arrest in his own apartment. No other soldier served prison time. In 1998, the United States Army finally recognized Hugh Thompson, Glenn Andriota, and Lawrence Colburn with the Soldier's Medal, the highest honor for bravery not involving combat with an enemy. Glenn Andriota never saw it. He died in combat 3 weeks after My Lai. He was 20 years old. At the ceremony, an elderly Hugh Thompson stood before reporters and said something he'd been saying for 30 years.
I wasn't a hero. I didn't do anything special. I just did what I thought was right, what any decent human being should do.
Hugh Thompson died in 2006. He spent the rest of his life teaching, visiting schools, talking to young soldiers, always with the same message. Sometimes the hardest thing in war isn't fighting the enemy. It's knowing when to stop following orders. My Lai wasn't an aberration. It was a mirror that showed how far ordinary men can go when they stop questioning, when they stop thinking, when they just follow orders. On March 16, 1968, 504 people died. 182 women, 17 of them pregnant. 173 children, 56 of them infants. 60 elderly. And 11 people lived. Because one man made a choice between following orders and following his conscience. A choice measured in seconds. a choice that defined the difference between being a soldier and being a human being. Hugh Thompson once said he wasn't the only one who could have made that choice that day. But at My Lai, he was the only one who did.